Well, hello everyone. I am starting this recording a few minutes early just to give myself some time to prep and collect my thoughts, set an intention. So, if you're just joining, we will be starting in about 15 minutes or so. Please feel free to take this time to set up your sacred space. This guided meditation is part of the 5-day total wellness reset. And so I'll be leading you through some guided breath work towards the end of today's practice. I think all in all, this will take somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. But I want to be respectful of time. So if you need to let some people know that you won't be available for a little while, now would be a great time to kind of get your schedule in order and get your space set up. And I will be doing the same. So I will be lighting some sage. This is clary sage. I really love using this in my spiritual practice. It's often said to be used around the world, spiritual practices, and can be very clearing and cleansing for your space. So, for example, if someone came into your house, maybe over the holidays, you were hosting, and they had some negative energy, negative conversations, having some sage handy and maybe burning it while you walk around your home and kind of outlining the spaces that person was in, maybe the door they walked through, maybe where they sat, maybe where they were having those hard conversations. This can be a great way to clear your space, reset the energy, and reset your intention. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I also absolutely love the smell. So there's that too. It doesn't have to be about clearing everything out. It could simply just be you enjoy this practice. Okay. Also, I want you to remember, I want to keep in mind that this is recorded. So if you need to step away or you get a little distracted, don't feel bad. I will upload the recording and you can watch it again and again at your leisure. So you will not disrupt me if you need to leave. I just want you to feel secure in your practice in your space. And then another way I like to prepare for these types of guided sessions, meditation, honing an intuitive gift, or just creating a more sacred space, I like to pull oracle cards. This is a really easy way to kind of tap into the subconscious, unconscious mind. The oracle cards are different than tarot cards. Each deck is a separate theme. This is the Yoga deck by Sahara Rose. Not only is the artwork beautiful, but there are all kinds of topics of conversation in the yoga world. So, for example, there are different deities, different yoga concepts like the chakras, and some Ayurvedic principles like, for example, the three vital essences, the different doshas. So not only is it a great learning tool just to get familiar with these new concepts, but it is also a great way to ask the universe a question and allow the cards to reveal an answer, and that is left open to interpretation. So the way I'll be using it today is I'm going to pull a card for myself. I'm curious what the intention should be for these next 5 days. I know why I created this challenge. I wanted it to reach people who needed a quick reset, and I wanted it to showcase the things that I'm passionate about and the skills that I'm really good at. So I kind of have an idea, but I want to get a little more clear and see if there's anything else that I could bring to the table to make this more meaningful. So I'm going to take the deck of cards. I'm going to take that sage, which I've already lit. I think I'll light it again. And then I'll just allow the smoke to pass over the cards, again, with the intention of cleansing the deck. Maybe I used it last time on someone else's question. Maybe I was a little unhappy when I used them to ask a life question last time. So the sage is a great way to clear the deck and prepare the process of asking a new question. And then There are lots of ways to do this, but I personally love spreading out the deck so I can see every single card. Hopefully you can see them as well, so you can kind of see how I like to do this. So I'll just spread them out. I can see at least a corner of each card right about there. And then before we begin, just in case you have your own desire to start an oracle card practice, I want to read to you from the book a little excerpt about how to use these cards. Of course, we can all create our own practice, our own ritual. This I find is very helpful. The purpose of these cards is to empower you to come up with your own answers. These cards provide you with the reflection and space needed to tap deeper into your soul. They are not the be-all, end-all. Sometimes we don't understand the deeper meaning behind the cards until months or years later. However, the cards provide you with the opportunity to gain further insight on topics that are near and dear to your heart, so you never have to look outside of yourself for the answer. The best questions you can ask the deck begin with what or how, rather than asking why. So, for example, that could be, what messages do my guides have for me? What should I be more mindful of? What should I be focused on? What is the best action to take? These questions allow the cards to offer insight without taking away the opportunity for your own contemplation. Who questions such as who is my soulmate will not work with this deck unless your soulmate happens to be Krishna, Shiva, or another deity. It just won't work. Where questions don't work either, because the answers will always be your consciousness. When questions aren't going to fly because time doesn't exist in higher dimensions, and why questions can make sense but be very careful with them, because they often bring you back to victimhood, such as why did this happen to me? Why didn't he choose me? For example. So let's think of a positive reframe, which would be, what am I overlooking that will allow me to understand the situation better? So I use these cards not only in my own practice, but also with clients. And as you can see, there is a lot of different ways to interpret this deck. So formulating the question now comes with a little bit of meditation. I like to clear my mind, settle into the breath. And the question sometimes arises within you. You have this natural desire to learn more about a particular situation or aspect of your own private practice. And sometimes it takes a little bit more to find that right wording of that perfect question. For today, I'm going to keep it simple. I think it'll be something along the lines of, what do my guides have in store for me in the next 5 days? What do my guides have in store for me in the next 5 days? So I'll call upon my guides. May the highest good come into this space. May my guides settle around me with their insight, love, passion, and protection. And then may I ask this question to you, oh great guides, what do you have in store for me over the next 5 days with this total wellness reset challenge? When choosing the card, I like to use all of my senses. So I'm feeling energy in the palms of my hands. I'm using my eyes just in case a certain card stands out to me. I want to take my time here, especially if I'm only pulling one card. Sometimes we'll pull a spread, but I really have to trust the process. With this deck, the face of the card is important, whether you pull it upside down or right side up. I pulled this card upside down. It's the Dharma card. I already know what Dharma means, but for some of us, this would be part of new vocabulary. So for every person that I pull the cards for, I like to have them spend some time just looking at the artwork and beginning to tell themselves a story of what they're seeing and what it brings up for them. So I'm looking at this card. I'll come a little closer so we can hold it up again. So I'm looking at this card and I'm loving the kind of rainbow colors. I'm seeing a lot of different dimensions, like in the foreground, the background. And I'm absolutely loving all of the, I'm absolutely loving all of the design here. So she's sitting somewhere. There's scripts and writing on the mat below her. There's flowers and some natural items like the butterfly. And then there's some like diamonds. There's some more crystallization around this pyramid, and everything is framed, right? Her head is framed in the circle. There's a perfect triangle behind her. And then there's this beautiful border around the outside. So it really is quite beautiful. My senses are feeling really inspired, right, by all the color and by all the patterns and textures. I imagine if I was sitting near her, I would be hearing melodic music playing, or I would be smelling those flowers, right? It's a really embodied card. And then the next step is to read what the deck has to say. This is found on page 73. Dharma is part of the 8 stages of yoga. Single, oh, that's not right. Excuse me. Let's try it again. Here it is. Dharma is on page 19, excuse me, and it has to do with your higher purpose. I pulled the card upside down, so I'll be reading the reverse side first, but I also like to read the upright side. There's oftentimes more insight here. So there's a little paragraph for each. I'll go ahead and read it now. Perhaps you need a reminder of the very important role you play in the universe. You were born with unique gifts that only you can share in your individualized way. The world can only come into balance when everyone rises up into their Dharma role, and that begins with you. Take a step back and look at your life. Is each day bringing you closer to your higher purpose, or have you lost sight of what this is? Remember, your Dharma role is so much greater than just you. When you don't rise up, the whole world misses out. We need you. And actually, I find this quite fitting because there has been some struggle and some sort of turmoil and inner questioning, some uncertainty, if you will, in my own life, in my own practice. Um, this is a little bit anecdotal, but I feel comfortable sharing. Excuse me, I think there was a little technical difficulty. This is a little anecdotal, but I feel comfortable sharing. Um, oh, shoot, I forgot my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Well, I think just, you know, enough to say that I've been feeling a little lost. I've been feeling like the things that I have to do are pulling me away from the things that I want to do. And the things that I want to do aren't really fulfilling every need in this lifetime. And there is some disconnect for me between the have tos and the want tos, because it seems like there are so many have tos that society brings upon us. Like you have to pay X amount for certain things. You have to use the road and drive a car and contribute to pollution, and you have to eat healthy, but here are the only options. It's not limitless, it's limited. And there has been a lot of discomfort in my body, feeling like I am not on the path, and then questioning if that is part of the path or not. So I find this card to be very, I want to say humbling, because it's something, isn't it interesting, right? That as I go into this 5-day challenge, I'm here to support you and whoever chooses to join. I would be so honored if this found many people, and yet there is healing that I seek and desire too. So, what a beautiful space to be in, to never be fully perfectly all the way there, to continue to seek a higher purpose and to continue to look inward to discover the beauty around me, right? To discover, wow, this makes me feel this way, and I am really drawn towards this. I'm really pulled in this direction. Or gosh, that did not feel good. I'm learning a lesson here, or I'm uncovering a new need. So I absolutely love this deck of cards for that reason. Let's take a minute or two. We're getting really close to our starting time. We've got about 2 more minutes. There may be some more folks joining us, so I'll give us about 2 minutes to get settled, let everyone join. I'm sipping on some immunity tea in my yoga first mug from True North. And I hope that you are, able to bring in something nourishing for this practice. You just check all the connections here and just make sure everything looks good. Okay. Well, I am ready to begin. And if anyone else joins us, um, I'll have to get up, but we'll just allow them to trickle in as needed. So, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is part of a series. I'm guiding you through a 5-day total wellness reset. So, before we get into that, why don't I share a little bit about myself so you have a better understanding of, who I am, what my process is, and kind of why I decided to bring this into fruition, if you will. So if you're new here, my name is Mickey. I am a certified personal trainer. I am a yoga teacher and an Ayurvedic practitioner. I also have a Reiki master certification and training. And I say all these things because I love to offer clients, friends, family, anyone who's willing to listen, really, a holistic approach to creating more confidence and energy and clarity naturally. I absolutely love the combination of movement of the physical body, mindfulness of the headspace, as well as nourishing the body with food, moving with intention, and being really energized and clear in our life. Because I believe wellness is a complete and total experience. If your body is healthy, but your mind is unhappy or your soul is unhappy, you can't fully feel well. You can't fully be present in every moment of life because you're being pulled in these different directions. And this is natural. This is actually part of the experience, is to decide where we direct our energy, what we set our intention to, right? We have free will, thank goodness. But I experienced in my own life a really big disconnect. When you look at me, I may appear to be physically fit, healthy, happy, energized. Someone from the outside might assume, wow, Mickey's life is perfect. She's got it so easy, whatever the case may be. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm just saying this is how I may appear on the outside. Well, there's a lot going on the inside. I had a really rough start in my early childhood. I was adopted, then my parents got divorced. I struggled with body dysmorphia and an eating disorder. I was in treatment for many years. And so I still struggle with a lot of self-limiting beliefs, a lot of struggle with how I look in the mirror and am I good enough, right? Am I worthy of love? Am I doing enough to create my life the way I want it to so I can wake up thriving every single day? And many days I don't feel this way. Thankfully, I use these practices to help in my own life, and I found it so successful that I want to give this gift to you as well. So, over the next 5 days, we will be touching on 5 different topics that I think is very relevant to the holistic healthcare that I'm talking about. So, for today, our topic is grounding. We're going to talk a little bit about nervous system regulation, and I'll do a demonstration with breath work that you can follow along with me. Then on day 2, we'll move through the different elements. So, earth today, water tomorrow, with some emotional regulation. We'll use a technique called EFT, or emotional freedom technique. Some people call it tapping, and we'll use it to help us identify and nourish and nurture our body and its emotions. As we know, emotions are often stored in the body and can be linked to discomfort and physical symptoms. So I think that's really relevant. Day 3, Wednesday, we'll look at fire a little bit. We'll talk about digestion, discipline, and we'll do an energizing breath work that you can adopt into your practice to give you more energy quickly, naturally on a daily basis. Day 4 will be about wind. We did a lot of breath work leading up to day 4, so I figured we wouldn't focus so much on breath work and on the day of wind, right? Sounds silly. On the day that we're talking about the element of wind. So instead, I'll be leading a guided meditation to help unlock our intuitive gifts. We'll do an oracle card pull as well, and then I'll offer that if you wanted to do a card pull for yourself. We'll do it as the group, and then if you want to, we can also do a card pull for each individual, whoever's interested. And this is a great way to just practice tuning into your intuitive gifts, your subconscious and conscious mind, and using this as a tool to help you decide for yourself what is going to bring you more energy and confidence, rather than looking to someone else to fulfill that need for you, learning how to answer the call from within. And then day 5, we'll have a really relaxing singing bowl, crystal singing bowl sound bath, which I am so looking forward to. So it'll be more of a day to just come, lay down, reset, and really absorb the beautiful tones of the singing bowl. And then at the end of the challenge, there will be an opportunity to work with me one-on-one, either through my wellness app virtually or through more personalized one-on-one sessions. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I definitely want to get to the good stuff today so that you can walk away feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, a little bit more clear, a little bit more confident, and definitely more energized. So I've done a little bit of talking. I would like for you to share your goal with me, your goal for the next 5 days. If you have something that comes to mind right away, feel free to write it down, type it into the comments, maybe share it in our Unify Mind Body Wellness app within the groups that are available there. That way I can help hold you accountable, celebrate successes with you, and just get your thoughts out on paper so that they are more likely to come into reality. And then if you're not sure what that goal is, you might start thinking about why you joined the challenge, what called you to join this 5-day total wellness reset, and what you hope to get out of that and what that will do for your life going into the new year, over the next year, month, week, years and years, and so on. Because as we start to tell ourselves the story that we want to create, we can better identify what's working and what is not working, what's moving us closer to that goal, and what is actually standing in the way and moving us further away from that goal. So feel free to type that into the comments. What is your goal over the next 5 days? It could be a physical goal like I want to love what I see in the mirror 10% more. It could be a mental emotional goal, like I want to find a tool that works for me to manage my anxiety. It could simply be I want to show up on these 5 days and participate in the best way that I can so I can get the most out of this experience. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I definitely want to hear from you. What is your goal for this 5-day challenge? And then let's get into today's topic. So today's topic is about grounding. We'll talk a little bit about the 5 elements and focus today on earth, and then how that impacts us on a daily basis. So the 5 elements recognized in yoga philosophy and Samkhya philosophy and many other yogic or Hindu doctrines are earth, water, fire, wind, and space. Each element has a different quality associated with it, and it's believed that we possess those qualities within us, and we can find those same qualities mirrored in the world around us. And I find this to be very important because when we come into our awareness and we decide for ourselves that we want to make progress, we want to make a positive change, oftentimes there are things we're not even aware of that are standing in our way. Now, the 5 elements help us to better identify the things that are standing in our way and the things that are benefiting us. So, for example, if you are someone who struggles with losing weight, maybe you've been at the same weight for a while, or your body just tends to store weight, you might have an excess of the earth element. Because when we think about earth, we think about dense rocks, we think about thick, gooey mud, we think about the trees and the greenery and this place we call home. And so those qualities live within us and around us. And we might say, I am noticing a lot of earth in my constitution within me. Where is that coming from? Is that inherent within me? Is that my DNA? Or is there something in my environment that is attributing to my body needing to protect itself, needing to hunker down and settle into a hibernative state and hold on to this excess weight, for example? And the same is true for all the elements, which I'll talk a little bit more about each day, but each element has qualities, and those qualities are mirrored in us and around us. And I often use this in my Ayurvedic practice to help interpret different symptoms. Someone who's experiencing weight gain, someone who's experiencing headaches or lack of sleep, or they're feeling very burnt out, they're having adrenal fatigue. We can oftentimes tally up all these different qualities, right? The body is overheating, the digestion is overactive or underactive, for example. And then we can kind of pinpoint, well, here's an area that we can work on that might address some of these symptoms in a positive way. So it helps to create a little bit of order in the chaos. And it's something that I have been developing over time, and it's something that you can start developing too. So today is all about Earth. Earth's qualities are heavy, slow, sticky, stagnant, cold, and dense. Heavy, dense are very similar. And so we can find these qualities in our body, our bones, our teeth, our weight, or even our thoughts if our mind is feeling a little sluggish or looking for comfort. And we can find it in the food that we eat. Okay, I think we froze there for a second. But you can also find these qualities in the food that we eat. And identifying these qualities can then help us to approach our situation holistically by eating different foods that help to nourish the body in new ways, by adopting different routines and practices that help to mitigate these different qualities that are building up within us. And then most importantly, I want to talk about the physical body because it is most of our experience here on earth, right? We live in a body. It is our temple. We can see it and we can feel it. And a lot of times the messages and disruptions that we receive are from our physical body, right? Oh, I have a headache, can't think about anything else, my head hurts. It's a very physical experience, and it pulls away from anything else that might be around us, like energetics or metaphysics or things that are unseen, right? The earth element is all about the world that we can see and feel and touch. So a lot of times it's easy to address the physical body first. And then as we go about our healing journey, we'll start to uncover other areas in our makeup that need to be addressed, like perhaps our dreams and our sleep, or our breath work, or, fill in the blank here. So one of the best ways that I have found, and one of the quickest ways I have found to support the physical body is through the nervous system. Now, if you're new to the nervous system, it's quite simple and it can be quite in depth. So for this practice, we'll keep it quite simple. And I think for the true beginner, this will be easy to understand. Our nervous system is a system of communication in the body. It helps the body interpret what's going on both inside and outside, and it's responsible for starting many processes in the body, like when we go to sleep, when we wake up, when we need to go to the bathroom, when we're hungry. All of these things are impacted by the nervous system. The nervous system has different phases, like our rest and digest phase, when we are quiet, calm, collected, and ready for bed, or our fight or flight when we are feeling stressed, anxious, elevated, amped up, and uncomfortable. And what we want is for the nervous system to be more intelligent, which means we want to be aware of what's going on, and we want to be able to easily switch from rest and digest to fight and flight. And when we're in fight and flight, back down to rest and digest. When we're in rest and digest and we need to move into fight and flight, we want this to happen very seamlessly. What I've seen for a lot of people is we tend to get stuck somewhere because we're not fully supporting ourselves, we're not fully processing our experiences each day, and these tend to bog up the system. So I'll give you an example. I have a 3-year-old and she is very high energy. She wakes up and she's bouncing off the walls and mom's still trying to peel her eyelids open. I'm mom. And I say this because my little girl will oftentimes come to me with a request. Hey mom, will you play Let It Go Frozen song on your phone? Yes, of course, of course. Hey mom, will you turn the volume up? Of course, of course. Hey mom, can we play with Play-Doh? Yeah, just give me a second, I'm still working on the volume. Hey mom, can we paint? Hey mom, I want to take a bath. Hey mom, can we play with toys? Hey mom, will you take me for a walk? And pretty soon my brain feels like it's about to explode and I can't even get the one task done because she's already asked for 10 other tasks. And this, I think, is a decent example of how the nervous system works, right? We wake up in the morning, our alarm goes off, we're already in action mode. And then 10 things come in, right? We have to make breakfast, we have to be to work on time. What shoe should I wear? Does it match my outfit? Husband's a little grumpy this morning, maybe I have to move around him. The kiddo sounds like she's getting sick, maybe I have to rearrange childcare. Oh no, now I'm 5 minutes late. Oh no. And the whole day is sort of pushed into this crazy mode, right? And we haven't even gotten the first need met, which is let's just wake up today. Let's just open our eyes and say, okay, day, I'm ready for you. That hasn't even happened. There's already 10 things to do. And so this can happen over the course of a day, over the course of a week, and over the course of a lifetime. So I mentioned earlier in the About Me, when I was talking about myself and my certifications, that I had a rough upbringing. So there are a lot of things that happened in my early childhood that I don't have conscious memory of, but still might impact me today. The way I problem solve, the way I carry myself, the negative thought patterns I may have adopted to try to protect myself in an unsafe time that now no longer apply, but my system is stuck in a traumatic experience or in a specific channel that is open that oftentimes needs to be released and healed and closed before I can move on to feeling healthy and happy and whole. So this can be a lot of information. I apologize if it feels like overwhelming at all. It's not my hope. I hope this challenge can help you to not only better identify what's going on, but to really know what to do next. Because the first step, yes, is knowing and admitting you have a problem, knowing and admitting that changes can be made. But the next step is putting in motion some positive changes. And that's what we're going to do next. So let's move into our breath work for today, and then we'll wrap up so you can get on with the rest of your day. So for today's breath work is one of the best, easiest, it's totally free, it's an amazing way to tap into the nervous system because the nervous system regulates everything in our body, including those unconscious actions like taking breath and digesting food and information. When we breathe, we're able to cross that barrier of known and unknown. So when we're not thinking unconsciously, we're breathing. But when we bring in conscious awareness and we use it with breath, we can bring healing. We can create energy. We can help our bodies do what they do best, which is thrive and stay alive. So this breath work is a simple 2-to-1 ratio. I'll invite you to get settled into your space. Get comfortable. Maybe you'd like to lay down or sit with your back against the wall behind you. But let's start to notice our spine. We want to sit up nice and tall and create some room in the body for this breath to work its magic. And then I'll invite you to close your eyes. This helps to drop the feedback down a little bit and open up our other senses. So as you soften your gaze, maybe we open our ears, we listen for sounds around us. Maybe you feel the temperature of your body. You feel the weight of your body on the floor or the chair beneath you. And this is a great way to ground, to simply tell yourself a story of what is happening in this moment. I am sitting down. I'm preparing to do breath work. Mickey is guiding me. I'm comfortable or uncomfortable, whatever the case may be, beginning to come into this very moment, eliminate distractions, and turn off the critical mind to just observe what is going on right now, right here. So we'll start with a body scan. Bring your awareness to the tip of your nose and just feel the temperature of the air around your nose. If it feels good for you, please seal your lips, breathe in and out through your nose. You can always change this for the practice so it fits you. And then as you take an inhale, follow that breath up towards your brain. Awareness to the skull and the brain and your hairline. Noticing if you're carrying any tension in your neck or jaw, front of your face. And we'll take a few breaths like this, breathing in, awareness rising up to the skull, the mind, space, and just honoring whatever is on your mind today. No need to change this experience. We are just here to observe. Now, with a nice smooth exhale, let your awareness travel down the back of your body, over your shoulders, down the back of your arms. You're welcome to breathe in again and then exhale and continue that energetic line down the spine. Exhale, settling your awareness towards your hips, your thighs, your feet, and the floor. Now, I trust that you know your body best, that there may be something in your awareness that is calling to you. For some of us, it's physical discomfort. For some of us, it's an emotional tie to a situation or a person. Whatever the case may be, I want you to address this need in your body by focusing in on where it lives in you. Can you find that space in your body that is calling for grounding, that is begging to be loved and seen and supported? And once you found that space, can you name the emotion or the feeling or the lack that lives there? Allow yourself to be open to whatever arises. Sometimes we'll get little whispers of information just by the sensations in the body. A little flutter here, a little bit of coolness there. For me, I'm feeling a lot of tension in my spine. I'm feeling a lack of support in my life. So I'm going to honor that. I'm going to see it in my mind's eye and sit with it just for a moment or two. Continue that breath in and out through the nose and get really clear on what is my body asking of me in this moment right now? What is my body asking of me in this moment right now? Now that we've identified the space, we've given it a name, let's rate this experience, this feeling and sensation, using a 1 to 10 intensity scale. So 1 out of 10 means hardly noticeable, it's just a whisper. And then 10 out of 10 would be mind-blowing, I cannot ignore. It's drowning out the sound of your voice, Mickey. 1 out of 10, let's name this feeling, this need in the body. And then if it feels good for you, you can take your hands and rest them on this space. Maybe it's your heart, maybe it's a knee or neck. And if this doesn't fit for you, just leave your hands resting comfortably in your lap. But bring your hands somewhere where they can help to nourish and support this practice. And now we'll begin to adopt that 2 to 1 breath ratio. So I invite you to breathe in through the nose. And then as you breathe out, extend your exhale. And we'll start to purse the lips and blow out through the lips like you're filling up a balloon. Breathe in through the nose. Extend your exhale. Breathe out through the lips. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, relax your body. And just observe. Feel the tension in your body and muscles melting away. As you breathe in, feel this new energy pouring into your very fiber, very cells of your body. Imagine as you breathe in, a bit of golden light and energy fills you, pushing out any sensations of discomfort, any thoughts of regret or sadness or lack. As you breathe in, your body is becoming lighter, more room to grow and expand. And as you exhale, maybe you imagine you are blowing this very energy out of the room, releasing whatever holds you back, whatever stands in your way of a full, healthy, nourishing life. I'll begin a count just to help remind us of our breath pattern here. So we'll breathe in for a count of 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This count can help you to clear your mind as you breathe in. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fill the body with breath and energy and awareness. Exhale, breathe out, release. Settle into your very bones and muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next inhale, take the biggest breath of all, no count. Breathe up to the top of your lungs and then sip in more breath. Hold the breath at the top, hold until you feel yourself tensing. Let it go. Return to your natural breath. Bring your awareness now to the tip of your nose. Feel the soft whisper of breath as it enters your nasal passageway and travels up to the skull, down through the body, out, creating a never-ending cycle of energy exchange. Scan your body head to toe. Search for that space within you that needed support today. Come back to that feeling or sensation or discomforts that we named and labeled at the beginning of our practice. And just for now, I invite you to tune in. Has anything changed? Has that number, that intensity gone up or down? Were you able to find some relief or come to a new understanding? When you are ready, and this can take time, please start to awaken. Let your eyelids flutter open. Maybe we move a little, getting some creaks out of the body. And then I would love to hear from you what you experienced with this breath work. Please feel free to write it down and share with me in our group Unify Mind Body Wellness app. There's a space in there to connect with everyone that's part of this challenge, all my clients, and you're welcome to share this with your friends as well. I think it can be very empowering to put words to the experience and have someone ready and willing to witness your unique transformation. This is something that I did not have when I was struggling most, and so it is really and truly what I believe is missing in a lot of modern medical practices. And that's what I want to be for you, is a sounding board. Someone to remind you that no, you're not crazy. You are just tuned in to the energy within you, the energy around you, and you are moving closer to that dharmic path, that path of purpose and intention and energy and competence. So let me know how this practice landed for you. I will see you tomorrow at the same time, and we will go over our emotional regulation with EFT tapping. And until next time, may you have a beautiful rest of your day. May you be well.